ridiculous like that before finally it got toppled and then eventually just kind of fell out of the meta. Taco, this is an interesting one to be in. We'll have the Kings as the first pick for game number 1. The Leviathans, I found this out, it's wild, an 81% first pick win rate. So they are a team, for the longest time, if they had the game first pick and they won, that was the set. They were able to win.
Yeah, we won 81% of the time when we were first pick.
Here, they're going to be second pick as the Kings take first for game number 1. And a lot of interesting picks on the board. What do you think is going to be prioritized here, Taco?
Oh, without a doubt, Yamoja.
Okay, so going into this set was basically like, we're going to leave Hell open because we believe we can outpressure the Hell early game with the AMC, and we can invade purples and reds early game because we'll just outpressure the Hell, and we'll snowball on them. And that was basically like what our strategy was going into this game, into this set. So we were going to leave Hell open because everyone is so scared of Hell. We figured like the Kings probably never even played Hell a single time in scrims, you know what I mean? Because everyone just permabans Hell. So we're like, we're going to leave it open, throw them off because we know we can outpressure it, and we're going to play against the Hell. And that's basically, and then we knew if like they gave us Hell, we just pick it and win. And we were just so confident in Shinto's Hell, but we felt like we could beat anyone's Hell. And so that was basically our pick and ban strat. We're just like, leave Hell open, we're going to outpressure it, and because they pick Hell, we're going to get really good picks that we think are really good in this meta, and that was the trade-off. I'll be back for game 3. Okay.
She's got to be one of the first to be eliminated. Either whoever's in the first position,
that was basically our strat.
Is never going to be the one that has to ban it. But when you look at genetics, when you look at Rongyu, so many similarities in terms of those choices. And it seems as though the Kings,
and
they don't want to waste any time. They're just going to take Yamoja away, despite the fact that
Twig Erlang is deadly. We got to take Twig off Erlang.
As though the Kings just.
Surcat, they banned that because of probably our quarterfinals match.
As well, so it seems that the Kings are largely just eliminating flex options.
And trying to control a lot of what we've seen be successful.
So we started banning Tiamat because we thought that Tiamat was the only... Yeah. We started banning Tiamat in finals because we thought she was the only good mage in this meta because she was hard to kill. And so we didn't want... Oh, you got 2 bans. Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, you got 2 bans. Yeah, Yark got me. Imagine Yark being able to pick his best god because no one banned it, because no one was scared. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. But that was basically our shit. We were like banning Tiamat because she's hard to kill. And we felt like in this meta, like hard to kill mage was the only viable mage. Okay, now we go on.
For the Leviathans in the past. Tiamat, Erlang Shen, both of those feel very, very focused though as well. That is Twig to a T, and that's BMT as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Pantom's got to have his hand warmer, bro.
Paul just put on an absolute show, giving the Leviathans a timely reminder that they shouldn't be giving that one up. Big Man Tings won't be able to pilot that. And Erlang, I think, really is a great god for Twig just because his kit suits Twig's style so well. He wants to be a primary initiator. He wants to apply a lot of CC and control the early game. And that's exactly what Erlang does.
They banned, so they banned Odin, so we're like, okay, they're definitely going to pick Hell, which is exactly what we wanted. So we're feeling confident that they get Hell, we're going to get AMC and another power pick like Artie or something like that.
Alongside the Surcat and the Yamoja for the Kings, the Leviathans have the Erlang and the Tiamat waiting for their third man. But, you know,
look at that dual lane right there. Woo, that's a handsome dual lane right there.
Everybody's not dealing with it.
Especially this guy.
Cobb has been really solid. One thing that we saw from the Titans in their first game, granted it didn't win, but it's something that the Kings loved going to.
What do we ban here?
It's maybe not a first pick option, but that is something, I mean, like, is that on the mind right now for genetics?
Without a doubt. I think that Khepri is a Guardian where, contrast to Geb, he has a little bit more lane pressure and bully potential. Early on, Geb, I think, can kind of struggle, which is why we've seen him fall a little bit more out of favor to this current meta. But the Odin ban is just smart because these are both teams that are capable of running Hell, and that's definitely one thing that has continued to
a lot of teams played a lot of Khepri, and it was really annoying.
Semis and finals aspect.
So I would say, like, the meta kind of came down to, like, hard to kill backline or, like, big damaging backliners like AMC, and then a Khepri pick just to keep them safe, and then everyone just played to peel for their carries and stuff like that. And so what we decided to do in a lot of our comps was to just kill frontline. Like if a team picked like hard to kill backline, we were just like, okay, we're gonna kill frontline, and we're gonna ban the Kepler because it just makes everything annoying. And that was kind of like what we were thinking going in here.
Is that teams that play the healers, I think, pose a much larger threat, and sure enough, the Odin ban, you have to immediately assume that it's going to be an immediate pickup for the Hell. Olarun, however, still up for grabs, and a lot of power picks as well between Achilles.
So everything's going according to plan so far.
And just lots of pressure, I think, is going to be the theme here.
Now, a 100% ban rate up to this point. We've had a 3-game set, 2 4-game sets. Hell has not been allowed to see the light of day. And now the Kings get it. And Hazer, normally I'd be lamenting and talking all about Hell mid, things like that. When they have
I think we pick Ardio here, right?
More often than not, it's gone to variety. That's something that means it's got a flex potential for them. And it's been such a powerful pick in the past.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see if they have this as a flex. If the set goes on and we see maybe this Hell doesn't
Set right,
we might see
genetics.
Hell more than once. We might get to see it in a couple different roles for the Kings. I think that's a really powerful flex, actually. I think flexes in general are powerful.
Yeah.
We saw the Achilles flexed in the last set going to 2 different roles. And I think
Yo,
it just gives you a
Zeus,
lot
thank
of
you so much for
space
the resub. Yeah, okay,
in
we
your
pick Ardio.
drafts. As RTO comes through in the solo lane hardcore, I think this has been banned away from him in almost every game so far.
Yeah, this is one that, for the longest time, this team won good chunk of. I think they have.
So we're feeling good right now. We like feel like we win mid
with it, 18
and we win
wins
solo
throughout the
like
year.
automatically with these picks.
Yeah, that's pretty good. As it
So
turns
we're
out,
already
he
feeling
does not
good.
That's a nice
lose
stat.
on this god too often.
We
But it
thought
is,
that
again,
we
the
thought
threat of
that
having
they
to
would
deal with
play
healing, right?
Eset
Ardio
all
brings in
in.
a little
That's
bit
what
of
we
healing.
thought.
One thing that's important to note when you're dealing with these types of healer compositions, especially
And
a god
we
like Hell,
we
you
didn't care
want
about Olorin
easy
because we
and
had the
steady
soul, and that was
application
kind of
of
just like
anti-heal potential.
our
I think
matchup in
Amuzen
dual lane.
Cobb 100% can get the job done almost on his own.
We
And
banned
when we've
Eset?
been
Why are we
seeing
so
Amuzen
scared?
picked up, he's
Scared
typically
genetics
leaning more
Eset?
towards those Mace style of builds.
Actually, we
However,
said that
this
we
all-around
actually
attack
said
set,
that
there
we're
is
only
so
we're
much
the only Eset
pressure
we were
and
ever
burst
worried about is
already solidified
genetics.
here from the Kings. That is a very potent draft so far.
You get the soul alongside that. This is one that, alongside of the
Don't
AMC,
clip that, 'cause I don't want
has
genetics
been
head to get too
flopped
big.
For literally every team as to who gets which. And honestly,
So they pick all, and we automatically pick
so I
soul
wouldn't
into it.
necessarily argue against that. But now you know that you're going up against this Bastet, this Oleron, plus a Hell in the middle of the team fights. It feels like, at least to me, a little stacked. You had mentioned the Oleron earlier for the Kings.
Yeah, I think this is a great draft by the Kings so far. I think the Leviathans maybe could have been trapped a little bit by this Oleron pick. They played against it with the bolts. Barracuda, not an Oleron specialist like Netrioid is. Definitely a pick that Netrioid favors over a lot of the other gods in the pool. And I wonder if Zapman's going to have as easy a time as he did against the bolts on this Sol.
And Netroid's just bobbing his head as of right now. Picks and bans.
Metroid is
So it doesn't feel
god
like
tier
there's a lot of
ADC.
stress, a lot of conversation going on. Sobek gets banned out here by the Leviathans. And admittedly, Taco, that goes right in hand with what you were saying. There's already so much that can lock them down, and they don't have a lot of leaps.
Well, the main thing that I kind of am looking at towards the Leviathans, it's almost like they were anticipating a Bastet. In
Look
that
at this
second
handsome
pickup
boy
slot,
right
which is
here,
why
wow.
They prioritized this RDO so early on because
You guys questioning
almost
myself about
certain
the
that would
god?
be banned away in the 4th and 5th phase. So
Oh, what do you
the
play?
fact
Yeah.
that Yarkor
There's so
or
many Ronnie bans,
realistically
holy
you're
crap.
running the bear, it's definitely
What'd you
threatening
pick here?
because it does force
Faf?
a little bit more onto that blink style of play, and you can't really ever
I don't even
bank on
remember,
the
but I have boomer
ultimate
memory.
safety net that Bastet usually has with that pounce.
Well, the Kings seem to think that it's going to be...
Was it the
more
elephant?
solo lane RDO.
Nah, we picked the elephant second game.
That
elephant pick was OP in the second, but we'll get to that then.
Joins the Sobek on the Leviathan side of things. Again, something that didn't give him a lot of trouble yesterday, but that was mainly when it was being played as support. I see Hell, I see Oleron. He's really that big of a
Bro,
threat
because we were
right
picking
now.
Medusa,
Well, actually, genetics back in the day.
Ganesh, and we just
he
didn't have
loves
the
ESET support. At least he
the
used to. I don't know
synergy, you
if
know, the
he's got one coming into
synergy
this
there.
event. I don't know if we're going to see it, but it's definitely a pick that he
I blame our jungler.
popularized early on. He plays a lot of wacky supports in ranked, and ESET was one which he went towards a lot. And I think he talked about it a lot, and he's said to me that he brought it into the map, but he does say that about a lot of things genetics.
Yeah, oh, we banned genetics ESET. Why?
relatively easily.
Why did we do
yesterday
that, bro?
when
Now
Jake was playing it. We'll see.
Janek's gonna
I
think
guess
his
maybe
ESET's
throughout this
godly.
set if it ends up making its way in. Fafnir locked in Taco. This is like a classic combo. You got Soul, you got AMC, you got a Fafnir, you got Smiles.
Classic objective shred focus as
Faf
well.
is just
for
a
the
solid
Leviathans.
all-around
Soul and
hunter.
Hamlet
Gives
and
us
Cobb are already
objective
200s that I think can
pressure,
just naturally shred through a
and he's
lot
good
of
in lane.
structures
He's
and
just overall
fire
solid.
and Gold Furies
Just
on
like
the map,
Hachiman,
but
like he's just
Fafnir is
solid.
only going to further enhance that, and I think Fafnir as well is extremely problematic against the likes
Okay,
of
the
Gasset
Nike,
and
we feel
Olaron.
confident
He can
against the
really pose
Nike
a strong
because we had,
issue
like,
with disarm, as
we
well
can
as
kill
that
the Nike
Fafnir
with
hammer
Stinger and all
toss,
that
so
stuff.
It's just going to be
I'm not gonna lie, the Ymir pick was a the support, we banned every support, and then we got Faf, and then we were like, if he picks Ymir, we feel good about it because Faf's pretty good into Ymir. And then is there any other pick you were thinking about picking here, Gen X? Now that we have you, was there? I feel like there was one other Guardian that was decent. Sylvanas, maybe Sylvanas. Horus, true. Horus, yeah. So anyway, we felt like we could kill this Ymir on cooldown with our comp.
Really position their backlining pieces because there is tons of dive, I think, for this Leviathans team.
So Hell has been a
Gilgamesh.
must ban so far this tournament. Bastet, Olaron, Nike, not anywhere near outlandish. Hazer, we got a Ymir coming in. We haven't seen Ymir in months competitively.
Yeah, I think Jake picked it up into the E set in that against, I think it was against Sleekness. That's the only
That sounds
time
about
I
right,
think
yeah.
we've seen it. And it did look good in that set, but it is a kind of
So here, basically, our plan was to pressure the Helm, kill the Ymir
It's that much,
when we invade.
We've seen famous
I'm not sure how it worked out.
Wall. He gets amazing.
I don't think we killed. I don't think we killed anybody until like
Get there
17 minutes.
first. If it's the Camelot Kings establishing defensive position,
Just seeing never last bit.
super hard.
Oh, dude, funny story. So, I played a lot of Freya and scrims, a lot of like Olarin, a lot of Soul, and then Ronnie's always like, "Yo, what about Horus here?" And I'm like, "Nah." I'm like, "Nah." I don't think Horus is good. No synergy. But every time Ronnie's like, "Yo, Horus," and I'm like, "Yo, what about Fenrir?" It was so funny, bro. I don't know, I just was not a fan of Horus.
All that healing.
Yeah, Mifflin, the
Probably was
Leviathans,
good,
we saw
though,
them play
but-
yesterday up against the Olympus Bolts, and it was not particularly close.
That's because we played a lot of Freya and
played their
scrims.
style of game, and it looked fantastic. The Camelot Kings, the team that
You see, bro, this is why we pick Soul, because like usually Olarin Ymir would get pressure, Olarin Issa would get pressure, but Soul, like once you get max heat, you auto for 100. So even if we both clear the wave at the same time, we just win after the wave clear, and then we win the posture in the lane because my autos hit for 100, while Netro's autos hit for like 70 something, and that was why we picked the Soul
qualified to
into the Olarin every
this round
time.
of the SWC because of their top 2 performance at the Phase 3 playoff. So it has been a while since we've seen the Camelot Kings play their style of game. But we expect, if they're able to continue the style of play, the momentum that
As
they
long as I
carry
keep my
during
heat
the
up,
Phase 3
it's like easy
playoffs,
because I clear the
Camelot
wave
Kings
easily, and then I can
should
kill the
come
Alpha
out and look
Harpies
good against
really
this
fast.
Leviathans team.
I
But the
literally
question
force
is,
shot the
you
Alpha
look at
Harpies.
The Titans game 1 against the Scarabs, maybe a little cold, haven't played competitive Smite in the studio for a while. A good opportunity for the Kings to warm up here.
Yark finally
This
getting
one
a
is gonna be
coup?
huge for the
What a
Kings to
miracle.
Get their feet back under them, get used to that high-stakes Smite yet again.
Right.
But there
So we
is
were a little bit
advantages
scared
to
of their
take
fight in the
that
jungle
long
because
break.
Ymir's good at fighting in the
Camelot Kings
jungle,
have
so
not
we did our
shown
own.
whatsoever.
nothing.
We've seen a little bit of what the Leviathans are looking towards insofar as pick strategy.
Yeah, whenever we
as well
watch
as
the
how
whole
they've been
set.
liking to play the map recently. We don't have any of that for the Kings.
BMT will pull out something that is not unknown.
Okay, so we
to the
clear.
Camelot
I'll clear them
Kings.
hard here. We're like, okay, we could do their
This
alpha
hell
now. Also,
has reared
best
her
stats
head
not in
once or
our
twice.
side of the
It's been
jungle.
Variety a handful of times. It's been Big Man Tings the other. But BMT pulls out a pick that annoys a lot of people
Yeah, I'm
because
one of
of the damage and the healing numbers that this pick can output. Always have to then wonder, how does anti-heal look? How do the applicators look for the Leviathans?
And the Leviathans have
The Kings
really
are
good
really
athletes
annoying to
apply
play against, bro, because
anti-heal.
they
You've got
play very
Shinto
smart.
with the honey, the bees spread as well. If he decides to go towards that Brawler's feet stick, I
Ooh,
mean, Taco
nice
said it
stun
best.
honey.
You can almost just do it on your own. But then you can look at the front line of the Leviathans. Where is Yarkor going to be playing the entirety of these team fights? Wherever Big Man Tings and Netrud are. He's going to be gunning them down. So you pick up maybe a pass.
So we're feeling good. We got both alphas, both Scorps. Ronnie trying to invade purple as he always does. I get so far ahead every time I solo purple.
Leviathans.
and I get like their alpha and their Scorp.
Whether or not the Camelot Kings decide to respond in terms
Basically
of
a half a level ahead at this
especially
point,
considering
feeling good.
cardio, as well as double meditation, self-healing from Zapman.
Yep.
Wangyu has a little bit as well.
Yep.
So the Kings can look for an answer.
First bit of action here in
Whoa.
this one. Well-timed beads from BMT, and the bees from Shinto fly right by the wayside. Would have been some
When
extra
you
damage.
split,
might
yeah,
not have
bro.
been enough to get the kill anyway. Actually, BMT.
Every little bit of farm matters in the duo lane, man. It's so annoying if someone's like slightly ahead of you. It's just so annoying.
Finds its way in. And so well played by Big Man Tings. Holds on to those beads in the mid lane.
Hey, God, Panatom, wow.
Looks like Book of the Dead might be the avenue that Big Man Tings is looking for. You talk about an annoying pick anyway. I get one of the most annoying mid lane builds to deal with.
Yeah, he's
Play a lot about getting ready. Yeah, you know how I was, you know, in certain scrims against a certain team. Bolts.
Match that up with a secondary HP shield if you are somehow
Okay,
able to miraculously drop.
we're kind of just farming here.
You're gonna have to do it again and again. It is gonna be very difficult for the dive of Leviathans to get paid if they're looking towards Big Man Tings. But Tings is not the only target, the only high priority target on the Camelot Kings.
No.
If he's that hard to kill, that might just
Panatom hits 5 here. He
all right,
backs.
just ignore him
He's
style
got his
player.
full item, I'm
Just
pretty
go
sure.
straight towards Netroid, or you try and dive out Twig on this Bastet.
Yeah, he's got his full
I'm
item.
very excited to see the team fights, the Leviathans.
I wonder which side he goes to, because I know I think we are going to try to play for red purple.
Run and then standard ADC on the other side. We see Freya, standard ADC on the other side. I don't know how many of these double magical ADC games we've seen here as of late. Is the expectation then the left side of the map sort of just chills here for a little while, or do you imagine that one of these two teams starts to put some pressure on either Zapman?
I think they
or
both hit
Netroid
5
trying
here,
to keep
right?
that
Yeah.
thing behind?
It would be much easier to shut down an old.
So yeah, okay, so we're invading purple red.
CC immunity as well as to separate in the kit. Just what is essentially a heavenly sprint followed up by an Aegis.
Good job by Twig
Is that
rotating
junglers
over.
Really don't
As soon as Twig rotates over, we're like, ah,
But Panatom might like it. He's
not
got a
that sick.
decent matchup
We
in
might
the
still be able to go for purple,
Generally,
though.
when Olaron has been picked this weekend,
But
the
we
answer
don't,
has
like,
been,
just because we
don't
have
fight
pressure
yet.
in lane doesn't
Sneak around
necessarily
like
mean we
level
win the
5 to
fight
10.
at the buff.
You'd imagine
So
Olaron
we're like,
that
you know,
would
you mirror all in all.
to the game. Sanctified feels
A little too
is
risky.
Still just disgusting in a 3-on-3 or.
So we just, you know, we go back and farm.
So generally, what we've seen is play elsewhere on the map, play around your mid lane, head over towards solo. But if one team were to get involved, I'd hedge my bets with the Leviathans.
And think about that moment right
Genetics, you got a back, bro. What are you doing to support Netroid? Soaking up all that farm.
around this Olaron was the patience on the Sanctified field, and then like a 3 or 4 man ultimate that then completely flips a team fight. So Netroid, if he's able to find some of that patience, which he is more often than not in these team fights, could be a great look for the Camelot Kings. The jungle matchup in this one.
Ronnie went an early
excited
heart
for.
word.
I haven't been this excited for some individual matchups.
Ronnie went an
across
early
the board
heart word, which is
in a
really strong
little
because they had double
while.
mage
Captain
backline.
Twig, a fan favorite. People want him to get back to the Smite World Championship Finals. Another opportunity at a ring for Captain Twig. And Panatom has been a spearhead for this Leviathan
Like, this whole
team
game
all year long.
was just like us
Panatom,
trying
I
to
would
look for
argue, is
stuff,
playing a
but
more
the Kings doing
standard
a really
pick
good job
we
at
expect
defending.
from Panatom in the
And we
Go-Go
really
match.
couldn't find
Captain Twig, a
openings
weekend favorite in
in the Kings
Bastet.
defense
Bastet is just
to like
a
make
new
plays
age,
because they
man.
just played
The
really well.
rework really has helped her out a
Until
lot.
17
The
minutes.
Ultimate's so versatile for starting off these engagements, the poke potential as well as the
So-
heal application.
One thing you got to notice too, like in the 1v1 in ADC versus ADC, is like whoever backs first gets the alphas again, which is
Incredibly strong
Very
for
important.
Bastet as well. Her burst damage has never been a weakness, and it still isn't.
I think I'm going for the
It's just
Scorp 'cause I have a
very,
Kate
very
already with
strong
max
pick
heat.
right now. So no surprise that Twig is very willing to pick that one up. And in the team fight, if Twig's going to act as that poker, just jump in, drop claws, jump out.
So I did the Scorp, my own
Well,
alpha.
he's jumping out to
Netroid should have done his alpha.
And Big Man
Might have not known the
So
timer yet.
Stand War, obviously favoring the Kings.
Yeah, you would imagine. So all's been quiet the first 6.5 minutes. Haven't seen jungle presence on one side or the other. A casual 600 gold lead is built up for the Atlantis Leviathans.
Yeah, he does it here, so that's fine.
Everything else seems equal.
Oh,
Levels
but he
maybe
has to
half here or there
split
across
with
the board.
genetics.
Have not
Oh,
seen
poor
a gap
guy. I
widen
feel
up
for
here
him.
as of late. Supports maybe considering starting to rotate out of the left side of the map, Myth, and I think that's going to be a fun story to follow as well. Wrong you the transformation, the team-wide coerce, maybe a slot of frenzy in at some point for that objective shred. But genetics in the playmaking and the potential of playmaking that this Ymir brings, I don't think can be understated. Genetics has been one of the supports
Okay,
of the
Jedi.
conversation when it comes to Ymir and playing it at the highest level.
Yeah, I think you're right to bring up genetics, especially considering how strong of a matchup he's got towards the center of the map. What is Shinto going to do once there's a wall behind him?
After the
Wait for it to
tears
down.
go
You know,
away?
like,
Oh
try
my
and
God.
Walk around and skirt his way. that is going to be very difficult for the Leviathans mid 3v3. And even if the Camelot Kings aren't getting a great fight off that initial, just finding that poke, taking
Wow, it was good. It was good splitting. Good. It was that's efficient farming.
Than it is for the Leviathans. If the Leviathans take a fight, they want to finish it right there.
How about a difference in starting builds here for the supports as well? Bit standard from Genetics goes Thebes first and foremost. I suppose when the core of your fighting, Oracle's dropped down by the Camelot Kings. When the core of your fighting for the Kings right now,
we want to take a fight, but we just can't take a fight.
It's all going to be magical damage, drawing you with the Heart Ward amulet first and foremost. Maybe make some sense.
It does, but going towards Heart Ward this early on kind of tells me that the Leviathans do want to get aggressive on the map. There's no reason to go towards that dedicated defense item if you are looking towards Thieves regardless, which I am assuming is the case for Wrong.
We're waiting for Anthony. Yeah, true.
You really want to utilize that defense while you've got it. Otherwise, slowing down your stacks just makes your build that much slower. So keep your eyes on the Leviathans. They are likely going to try.
So like right now, we're like 700 gold ahead, but we haven't invaded anything.
Because of Netrioid.
Netrioid has beat and ultimate.
We're not going to talk about my 2 ult, are we?
And just kind of wanders away. That's what Sanctified Feud will bring you. But that's a moment that I think the Leviathans will be happy with. You just walk at Netrioid, you get beats and ult.
Yeah, so now it's all up to Panatom to make that rotation over.
Okay, so here we got poke. I remember I was calling, like, let's do purple. Got a lot of poke.
There is a little bit of a trade, you're right, Zapman.
I think we do get it here.
But the bead's just so much more important. Sanctified Field.
I got alpha, purple's up.
Now the Leviathans want to keep up this pressure.
They do. It's on the purple buff. Genetics and Netrioid here against 3 of the Leviathans, and the call is to back away. Zapman completes.
That kind of hurts Panatom a little bit because he's not farming, but
I don't think all that.
Twig doing a good job invading backs as well.
Good wherewithal, good presence of mind is the word I'm looking for from Captain Twig. Invade some of the right side of the map while Panatom is over on the left invading purple. These are
I'm feeling good because I'm ahead.
You know, all year long have shown us this style of patience.
You got to realize like the dual lane is like a race. The dual lane this year was like a race, like who could get 4 items and their starter.
Not surprising
before the other guy, and then that guy backs and groups up, and then you're kind of just like
we might start leaning towards
in a rough spot as the other ADC.
We really see these games tilt.
So I'm already feeling good.
Can be very confident in their ability to take engagements later on in the match as well. Both scale incredibly well. I am curious to see that the Camelot Kings have elected to go towards a double meditation on top of already having an incredibly heal-heavy composition, further incentivizing an Ankh pickup for the Leviathans. Ankh, of course, if you do apply it and someone picks up some healing all of a sudden, they're taking additional damage going forward as well. Could make it very difficult.
I had Ronnie here, that's why I don't care about playing up.
Zapman extended
my
up
back
in this lane. Send some damage Netrioid's way. Wrong you here hovering as well. Would have been a 3 versus 2, but Zapman able to back away, nice and calm. Now in a composition with
that's fine.
Often see a
so we see Bastet left.
Grabbed it this time instead of Wrong.
So we're like, okay, we do Pyro here.
Pulled. This one's simple. The Leviathans are going to rally around the
good macro play by the team.
Objective of the game. Going to get the Draugr on the other side for what it's worth, and the Gold Fury still stands. So there's no answer back from the Camelot Kings on left. That one quick, straightforward, easy for the Leviathans.
And the Kings are just biding their time.
That's like our first like okay lead. Still the Kings. The Kings are one of those teams where like they farm so well, it's so hard to get a gold lead on them, or like a significant gold lead on them. So we're happy with our 1K. We got the objective. Let's keep farming.
Still largely equalized. Experience the more important of those 2 stat lines at this point in the game. As long as the Camelot Kings get to that 20-30 minute mark and maintain similar levels, I think the plus minus
first item hardware something. Well, I mean,
against their opposition,
basically as to support your first item is like to itemize against the enemy backline, right? Like or like the mid 3v3.
They want to be the pace setter now. They've got Shinto and
mid. So he went
a slight advantage over Big Man Tings.
They have all in hell Ymir, so hardware's really strong.
And you can see it in the build as well. Brawler's beat stick very early on for Shinto. He says, anyone comes to my lane, Big Man Tings is not healing that much. He doesn't have the book of the
dead fair game now.
Now's a great time to start taking some fights.
That's a good point. We wondered how Shinto would prioritize. Is it going to be the Brawler's beat stick? The answer is yes. Has fully stacked Transcendence on top of that as well. Looks like Panatom likes the quest item that he picked up. He's going to move into the tier 2 item there as well. So some good fortune for the Atlantis Leviathans and their build paths moving forward. Big Man Tings, that tier 1 book, these next couple of minutes, that last bit of farm.
So I feel like here just both teams are playing well on the map. That there's,
his team. If you're able to get
we made a couple plays in duo there to get purple.
Prior to but
here in this the Kings didn't die.
Like nice
Twig was farming during that time, so they trade camps, and so like I don't know. The
And
Kings are
that
just
stat
playing
hasn't seen much
really
of her
well
yet, except for
macro-wise.
that
We're
little bit of
playing well
dodging.
macro-wise too, and so it's just an even game. No one was making mistakes on both sides.
Off that Book of the Dead, so the Leviathans still have
So
got
it's
a
be,
point
you know, it kind of just becomes a
power
game
on
of
the
inches,
map.
like really
I am
small
sure
wins
they
here and
would
there,
love to
have them
find
add
him.
up,
That's
and then
why
all of a
she's
sudden you
let
take a
the
team
old
fight and you
fly
win.
like he does. Any fight they can force right now.
Panatom with
is a
Shoguns, yeah.
phenomenal one. And looking at Zapman's build, they could start looking the Leviathans, that is, towards this Gold Fury. That is a very
So,
It is very.
I don't. People are asking why I went Rod second. It's because I backed with 4K gold. I think it was just like sitting in lane because Soul is so broken, dude. Like her heat makes it think like you're like 3 items in or something. So it's damaged. I literally back with 4K gold,
expensive. Typhon's Fang on the
or
other
it's like
side for
3.8K or
Netrioid.
something like that. I don't remember.
And so, same starter for both the Magical ADCs. Second item, very, very different. Zapman.
I remember telling my team, I'm like, I'm back. I got 4K gold.
Damage, at least with this second item here. Takes a chunk of damage there from Netrioid and the rotation in from the Camelot Kings. Nothing more to be had. The Gold Fury, like
I
a
think of
beacon on the
Atalanta's.
left
It's a
side
pretty
of the
good
map.
item.
Moths to a flame. The Camelot Kings are there, but the Leviathans answer in kind.
So I'm not sure the Kings pulled
Leviathans are the one
this.
shredding this objective, but it's the Camelot
I'm not
Kings.
sure exactly
The
what
ones
happened
that
on the
have
map.
started it up. It is down
Looks
to
like
the
Nike's
happy.
rotating.
Leviathans close by. The first solo
Yart
laner that
getting
leads.
out-rotated.
The Sanctified Field.
Where's our solo laner? MVP, hello? ¿Dónde estás? They get gold.
Camelot Kings
Nike's coming.
Secure the Gold Fury, and we scatter to the wind.
The Leviathans play that one very passive.
Getting coup. You did get a lot of coups. I'll give it to you, Yart. You did get a lot of coups. So, for us, there's no point in contesting that because the Nike rotated. We knew that. Yart called it. So we're just like, all right, we just give it up, whatever. We got Pyro before anyway. We're trying to put pressure in duo because I'm telling my team I'm strong because I have Rod already. Rod tier 2. Panatom's already making its way over, but so is Twig.
This is smart
Good
from
counter
Captain Twig
rotation.
mirroring Panatom. I mean, the smallest bit of pressure, just Gilgamesh being on the left side of the map. But Captain Twig will be here to relieve some of that. That was an early rotation from Variety as well. I think the Camelot Kings were just
Another
buying some
coup.
insurance. The
That's my
Nike already made
MVP
its
right
way
there.
mid lane by the time Yarkor
That's my boy. Look at
out of
that.
solo there, so had a fight broken out.
What an
Had
absolute
an
beast.
immediate tank advantage if you're the Camelot Kings and the Leviathans
Yark.
back away
Mwah.
and choose to look at that Gold Fury no further.
BG,
So
thanks
that'll
for the
bring
1 year.
Gold back closer to even here, Myth. 500 or so is about where we've been throughout most of this game. Experience has not found a wide gap. And you start to wonder, we're 15 minutes
That
in.
game scaling of hell?
Both
No,
teams
not
have
really.
been happy playing at this pace. Both teams have grabbed a neutral objective for themselves.
Because a lot of hells are building like breastplate book builds. It's not really a
It really
scaling
is hard
build.
to say. I mean, traditional Smite knowledge dictates that the team with Hell is going to feel better at the 40-minute mark, right? But the Leviathans, with this single-target DPS composition, with the great synergy they've got around their Fafnir,
can shred.
I think that the Leviathans...
So basically, we're kind of just chilling to our next power spike. I'm pretty sure we were like...
It's relic selection as well.
I was like, I'm really close to my Telkines. Once I get my Telkines, I'll come group up with you guys.
Leviathans to dive him out. Yarkor and Panatom.
Oh, we can try to look for a play. Because I'll be so strong. 3 items. Like I have Rod, Telkine, Sakate.
Just watch the Pyro. That seems to be where the Leviathans...
So I think we're kind of just chilling.
Looking at it.
And they want to fight.
So we get some
there.
more power
They're already set
spikes.
up. Rongyu's ready, but will the Camelot Kings show up for a defense? Last time around, nothing from the Kings. The Kings control the left, the Leviathans control the right.
Wrong, you're not worried about the frenzy. We'll go Cursed Ankh instead. In the priority of anti-heal, already becoming apparent to us. We're 2, 3, 3.5 items into some of these builds. Who am I kidding? It's 3. No one's 3.5 items in. Got a Cursed Ankh, Brawler's Beat Stick, Contagion picked up though for Panatom. And so it's that second item slot, and I believe Pestilence about to roll through for Yarkor. Second or third item slot here.
Again, the Kings are just not making any mistakes. It's not easy to just like group up and kill them or something like that. They're just playing perfect.
Hasn't been any fighting. But that's about the right level of anti-heal you'd expect when going up against a mid lane Hell.
And you know, I said I didn't really understand which team has got the more significant advantage in the late game, but it is very clear which team composition is stronger.
So I get this tower. I have Panatom coming over because
that's the Leviathans.
I told him that I'm
Picking up
strong.
those 2 anti-heal items on both Panatom and Yarkor really is going to help out a lot in fights right now. The Leviathans.
And then I think this is where we're like, all right, when I finish my Telkines, I'm going to come group up.
Of the Camelot Kings.
And so just wait for that. I need like 500 gold or something like that.
High enough value objective that the Camelot Kings will take a fight here. They are very, very aware that the Leviathans are at a great strength point with their comp. Maybe the Leviathans could be forced into a position if they want to fight in just Raw pulling the Fire Giant,
I was gonna
forcing
say-
the hand of the Kings.
Say at some point, if you want to fight, you just pull the FG, right? I mean, there's ward coverage for the Leviathans down.
Okay, so
Camelot Kings.
here I'm backing. I finished my Telkines. I'm grouping up for this Pyro. That was basically the play call. I'm like, group up for this Pyro. Maybe we look for something as a team. And then Yark's like, they're on the Pyro. So then we're like, okay, let's just start the fight because I'm going to be there soon. And Olorin hasn't backed yet because we see Olorin left. And so that's basically what the play call is
Rotate in.
here.
That Pyromancer.
So Yark's just doing Yark
a
things.
lot of damage. Yarkor is here as well. Variety
Bastet no ult. I remember Yark calling Bastet no ult. We should fight this.
On a Captain Twig, Yarkor receives
I'm on the way. We're all on the way. So we're just like, even though it looks like Yark's taking a lot of damage, we want to fight this because we know it's 5v4.
From Big Man Tings, we are scrapping
Or it will be
here.
5v4.
We're on the FG pit. Winds of
They
Shamash
know it
is
too, 'cause
huge.
I'm sure
From
they're
Phantom
calling that
Top,
I'm coming.
The Camelot Kings, Yarkor finds first blood. 17 minutes in.
On goes
We're
massive.
grouped as
Nobody
5
on the
here.
Kings is healing, and the Leviathans are surging.
Zapman, big time ultimate. Leviathans.
We picked 2.
5-2.
We know we
Variety
can do the
down.
fire
Genetics
quickly
gone.
because I'm the 3-item
What's
soul
the
and we have
immediate call
Fafnir
here?
with AMC as well.
Regroup and back
Sheet
up.
almost
Twig.
kills Twig there, which was
No
crazy.
pull on the FG.
So we're kind of
Twig
just like,
goes
this is a
down.
free
You know
fire,
what they do.
basically.
The Leviathans will pull it anyway.
Fire Giant going to be burning very quickly here. Netroid nearby can start to
Yeah,
work his way in.
because she didn't even have any magic D,
Oh, Fire
I don't
Giant's
think.
low. Yarkor separating it out.
But she
Titan
did,
field
but whatever.
down, but the FG goes to the Leviathans nonetheless. Twig rallied in.
Here, we were a little
Choose ADC,
surprised that they
jump in,
defended this
jump out.
fire.
Zapman gets a kill on the Twig.
We thought they would just leave it alone.
The Dia side of the Camelot Kings, they are running left. The Leviathans have gotten
It's
what
low.
they came for. FG on 5.
And can they dive further? Netroid sticks around too far in, takes the lucky one.
I guess Netroid thought he was like
and
dead,
loses it
no matter what, so he
double
just tried to
the
kill me.
Hunter on the Leviathans, Fire Giant on
At
all
this point,
5. It's
we
the
have, like,
Camelot
an
Kings who
insane
saw that fight.
advantage
They chose to
at
take
this
the
point.
engagement around the
Because we just
Pyromancer,
grouped up first,
and all
forced the
5
fight,
members of the Leviathans were
killed a
right
couple,
around
and we were
the
as
corner.
5, and we
Where
had
was
a good
Netroid throughout the entirety
objective
of that
burning
fight?
comp,
He was
so
pushing the left side. The Leviathans knew
we were in a
that
good
the house
spot.
was in their favor.
If what a difference like 3 minutes makes. Suddenly Zapman is 3-0-1. You got Fire Giant on all 5 of the Leviathans. We're getting our pillows and blankets out, ready to take a snooze after 15 minutes of this one. And the game suddenly erupts. The
Pants,
Camelot
I'm doing all the
Kings walk in
jungle.
around the FG,
Smart.
the Leviathans column on it. For like 17 minutes, we are riding that.
There, I almost
even
killed you
line
guys.
Golden XP. And we have
Oh my god, just get in there, Ronnie, hit the tower, huh?
Fury gets picked up.
I remember I was like, Shito, get in here, hit the tower. He's like, bro, I don't have beads. I was like, oh,
This is not
okay,
a
let's
gold
leave.
lead built out of all the towers on the map going down. It's 2 tier 1s and the Fire Giant and now the Fury for the Atlantis Leviathan.
I was just feeling myself at this point, bro. I was like feeling so strong.
Leviathan's team composition
Even if they came, I
is
just felt like we
built
killed them.
Exactly for this map state. This is a siege
You
composition.
say exactly?
Exactly.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody appreciates
So at this
it.
point, we're super
Look,
far ahead,
this is
XP
great
wise,
for siege.
decent
Shito,
gold wise.
Zapman, either one. or maybe
Okay,
even
so
both.
here we see them pushing. Panatom's already on his way. We're all on our way to right because this is where we were going to push because there's 2 towers here. And so when we see them stay, we're basically like Panatom, start the fight. Just start the fight. We'll be there. Start the fight right now. Like we're just like, all right, go in now. Blink in. Start the fight. And then he starts the fight. He just has a sick engage, and then we just press W.
Captain Twig, and he has got a whole lot of
Chase
damage
them
from
forever.
Twig. He's got to escape
Oh, wow.
the last bit of damage. Not there yet. Zapman from the side. That's a big ultimate from Netroid, but he is alone
Net?
in his own sanctified field, and that is how he will die. All alone on the right side of the
Not
map. The
too
rest of the
sure
Kings
what that
rally,
was,
but they are
but-
rallying behind the retreat. Nice wall from Genetics. Slows down.
Now that we know they don't have their
Netroid
all
may
in,
have saved
we're
his
just like,
team,
this is
but he's
Phoenix.
the most important piece on this team. You can't
There you
trade
go,
out
Phoenix
your
here.
whole life on Oleron. Drop sanctified.
Oh, and I'm going Divine Rune here.
That was immediately lost.
That's what I'm building next for anti-heal.
You just died.
You might give up a lot here. The Leviathan's a team.
I hit the Ymir once. I'm like, let's just go in and dive, kill this guy.
Variety jumps into the back line. Genetics
It's
burned
so
on through.
squishy.
We are 20 minutes in. We've had nothing for 15, and suddenly the game is on fire. We
And then here it's like, yo, can we end? And then I'm like, just hit the Titan and see what happens. We're like, okay.
had nothing but action.
The Titan,
for the
see what
last 5
happens.
minutes. Is this how
And
we
we're like,
end?
oh, the
This is where
Titan's
this
dead.
game closes. Big Man Tings with Book of the Dead walks back into the fountain. The Camelot Kings as 3. Netrioid up in 1. Titan down to half. Big jump in from Variety, but the damage, it's connecting where it needs to. Leviathans take game 1.
But the Camelot Kings get to save at least a little bit of their
MVP's feeding.
Don't say it. Don't
blanked,
say it.
but they pick up 1, man.
Don't
Come
say
on.
it. That's all they have to hang their hat on.
That's
One
it.
kill at the
What
end of
else
that
was
game.
it?
Myth, Foreman God.
Well, that's basically how game one went.
Singular.
Right.
On a pyromancer.
So, like,
cost them the
At the end of it,
both teams played
because
really
four of them
clean.
stand up and scream.
It was
and Zap-
hard. You know, everyone's like, oh, no kills 17 minutes in. But literally, there was no opportunity to get any kills because both teams were playing really clean. And then we made the one group up play that we got some value out of and kind of just won the game from there.